everybody. Manning here from the NBA Finals in San Francisco. Ton to report out of Media Day here. The Celtics and Warriors, nearly their entire rosters both spoke today, along with both coaches Ime Udoka and Steve Kerr. And we'll start with them. The all-important injury reports going into Game 1 of the Finals tomorrow night here at the Chase Center. And a number of players on both sides going to be questionable going into it. We'll start with the Warriors. Gary Payton II, who hasn't played since early in this postseason. Memphis, cracking his elbow on the infamous Dylan Brooks play that got him suspended, increased tensions between both sides in that series, brought about talk of the code. There was a worry at the time that would end his postseason, but he's back in practice, going through contact. Kerr said it's good that he and Otto Porter, who's dealing with a foot ailment that goes back to the last couple games of the Dallas series, were both able to go through a practice session yesterday that the Warriors talked after as well. And sounds good that they're going to be able to give it a go out there. And those are two important contributors for the Warriors out there. Payton defensively, a point of attack guy that could do some damage against Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, be disruptive alongside Draymond Green as a switching defender out there who goes after the point of attack players on the Boston side. Not to mention rush the ball handlers like Marcus Smart, Peyton Pritchard, other guys who, when bringing the ball up the floor, if they're rushed, has led to the worst offensive play that we've seen from the Celtics this year. So Payton, although not an offensive threat, it's one of those rotational guys on the Warriors that makes them so deep, makes them so effective, makes them one of the best two-way teams in the NBA. We're talking about the first matchup between the number 1 and number 2 defense in the NBA since the 90s. I believe 1996 was the last time that happened. So Payton, Porter, sounds like they're going to be good to go. If not in Game 1, then pretty early in this series. Big gap between games. Steve Kerr talked about him liking the 2-2-1-1-1 format. Because of that, a couple of days between these to get healthy, get right, make adjustments, all those different things. And the Warriors earned themselves a substantial rest coming in by wrapping up that Dallas series in 5 games, waiting days and days for that Miami Celtics series to end. And the Celtics had to push through with their injured players into a Game 7 on Sunday. Only got about 2 days before they had to shoot out here across the country to San Francisco. So a quick turnaround for them. Not a ton of time for Marcus Smart, Robert Williams to rest and deal with their ailments. Marcus Smart, the ankle injury, along with another number of issues on the right side of his body, lower body for the most part, quad, foot. All of those things have been bothering him for weeks now. And Robert Williams, it's the swelling, it's the pain in that left knee that had him looking extremely hobbled on Sunday in Game 7. We got a chance to watch both practices, the tail ends of both practices. And Robert Williams, Marcus Smart looked like they were participating in full. We'll start with Smart. Ime Udoka said he's going to be someone who progresses beyond this and eventually heals during this NBA final run as he gets further and further away from that ankle injury that he sustained in Game 3 against the Heat. He's looked better. He had a great game, shaky finish, but overall good effort, slipping into space, playmaking, hitting shots. All those things bounce back in a big way from Game 6 for Smart. So it seems like the light at the end of the tunnel is coming for him. As for Rob, number of videos up on Celtics All Access of how he looked to start practice. Moving gingerly, moving cautiously is how I would describe it. Not dunking, not exploding. It was the start. It was the warm-up of practice that we were taking in there. But there are times he looks like Rob. There are times he aren't. And this is the day-to-day facet that Ime Udoka has talked about for a few weeks now. Rob is going to have to be monitored after each game, see how the swelling persists, see how his movement progresses, and whether his pain tolerance is in a place that he can go out and give them limited minutes. Can he extend himself? I still think that's unclear in this series. They kept the minutes low against Miami, and ultimately he missed Game 3 of that series with the bone bruise along with the swelling stemming from the recovery of the meniscus surgery he underwent in March. Those things have Rob not looking quite like himself right now. And the fact that he's out there giving it all, you see him in Udoka continuing to show him love, pat him on the chest, encourage him. They're talking constantly. Ime told me a week ago now at this point. They're in that Miami series, and they're trying to keep his energy, his spirits high, and they were out there smiling, laughing, getting into guys, and hitting a bunch of jump shots. So a good look for him, as you hope that he can add that part of his game into the future. For now, they'll take the free throws, they'll take the rebounding, they'll take the block shots, and his mere presence out there can be a problem for the Warriors who want to go small, who want to play away from a guy like him and protect the paint. He might be able to slip through the cracks and make a few big plays, and that's all the Celtics are really asking for from Robert Williams at this point. So it's the finals. Everyone's going to go. Everyone's going to give what they can in this series, and that means we should see Gary Payton, Otto Porter, Robert Williams, and Marcus Smart when both these teams line up to start the NBA Finals tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern. Celtics, Warriors, get this thing going after days of talk. All coverage of Media Day is up at CLNS Media Celtics All Access. More preview material coming, Celtics All Access. And of course, big reason we're out here covering the finals, com.com/garden. 40% off a premium subscription when you go over there. Yoga, sleep help, meditation, calming down after tough losses. All the resources you need for your playoff stress are over there, along with HelloFresh.com/playoff16, feeding you through the NBA Finals, extended breaks between these games. You're going to need a lot of meals to make it through this one. And more of your free time is going to be caught up in basketball. You're already working hard. You're already with your family and friends and doing whatever you do day by day. Cut the time out of the cooking. Go get pre-packaged ingredients, instructions for dozens and dozens of meals, dozens of diet types. Whatever specifications you need, HelloFresh is going to be able to get it done, and it's going to come right to your door 16 times the food when you do HelloFresh.com/playoff16 plus 3 free gifts. An incredible deal and great supporter of the Garden Report. Continue to show love to HelloFresh and feed yourself. Eat good these NBA Finals. I'm Bobby Manning from San Francisco Chase Center. More coverage to come on the court out there as we dig into these two teams, the storylines between these two, and how this is all going to play out on the court. All of it coming at Celtics All Access, CLNSmedia.com.